Hello there, folks. Welcome back. You're watching UKSG Green 2025. We are coming to you live from the Leonardo Hotel in Glasgow, Scotland, and we are raising money for Crisis. We now have our next one coming up, but before we get to that, very quickly, £5 from Scorch. Good luck, Xylexsr. Wish I could be there with you guys in person. Manifesting a good World 6.
Amazing.
So thank you so much. We are going to send it over now to Xylexsr, who's going to be running Super Mario 3D World. Take it away.
Great. Amazing. I'm Xylexsr. If you've never heard, I'll get some clapping going on. I'm Xylexsr, she, her. I'm going to be running this game. I want to really just try and showcase the best of what this game has to offer. It's a very underrated speed game, but when we say speed game, we mean speed. If you've ever seen this game before, it's just very crazy with the amount of tricks, speed, and all that sort of jazz. I will move it over to my lovely co-commentators to introduce themselves.
Hello, I am Tackle Shift. I ran this game 2 years ago and have not touched it since. That is my... and it wasn't very good.
So...
Hello, I am Bushnan. I also ran this game 2 or 3 years ago and was even worse, so we're really a great set of commentators for this.
But thankfully the game knowledge is good enough so that we can get this show on the road. So looks like we will be just about to start here. I will let Tech know when to start. I'll give you guys a countdown from 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. So we're starting with Luigi here, who is known to be an absolute speed demon here. So we're just going to do 1-1, and if I would like, my commentators can introduce a little bit more about this game before we start.
Okay, so first of all, the main component of this game is the catsuit. Now, the catsuit makes you go very fast. You can climb on walls. Xylexsr has lost it.
Thank you very much, Tackle.
No problem.
Yeah.
Basically, and what's going to happen is Xylexsr is going to be doing this thing called crouch boosting. Now, I am not good enough at this game to understand what crouch boosting actually is. But Xylexsr is also going to be doing a thing called vectoring, which is basically jumping like left and right in the air, gaining speed really quickly. Basically, it makes you go super, super fast, really, really far, really far. And it's done in a lot of levels. You'll be seeing Xylexsr using Luigi for a lot of levels because of this.
Yeah.
Something you also may have noticed is Xylexsr skipped the opening cutscene because Xylexsr is playing on the Switch version of the game. Now, the Switch version is way faster.
Yeah.
Way, way faster.
I think there's like speed increases on the Switch version. You can also skip cutscenes as well. Basically, the Switch version is a lot faster to play on. While the Wii U record is in the like mid 130s, the world record for this game is in the mid 120s for that reason. So you get a lot of time save. You got a lot of time save during the run through all the savings that Switch gets you over Wii U.
Yeah, and we'll be talking a lot more about the different changes later on in the run, but it's practically faster in almost every single way. There's one glitch that's patched, but other than that, I'm pretty sure it's faster in every single way.
Yeah, another thing you'll notice is that entering each of the levels, Xylexsr will be deselecting and selecting a character, because usually you would want to, like, you would have to wait for the game to do its little plink, plink, plink. But if you just deselect and select, then it just goes right into the level. So you can just save a bit of time in every single level and really mounts up over the run.
Yeah, so we're just going to use this little Koopa shell here to get the star over here, and we're going to dive back, hopefully into the secret exit.
There we go.
Yeah, just had to take its little time. Usually it's a little bit faster than that, but I didn't want to risk missing the star and the run to be.
So the main thing about this run is we need 170 green stars.
Yes, of which we only have 6 at the moment, so it will take us a lot of time to gain those green stars.
And now we're in World 2.
Yeah,
World 1 was very quick.
Yeah, World 1 is very quick in the speedrun. There are other longer categories where you don't use warps and you do the entirety of World 1. And spoiler alert, we do also skip World 4 as well.
Yeah.
So
sorry guys if you were excited to see excited to see the beat block Galaxy. Not Galaxy. I'm used to Galaxy.
Yeah.
I'm a Galaxy runner.
Okay. So this level is really the first level where you really start to see the effects of crouch boosting and vectoring and all other movement techniques, is that you really just get to gain an ungodly amount of speed.
It is, like, it's just insane how much speed you can grab in this game with all the little tech you can do. It also looks really cool.
Yep. So the reason why I was waiting there at the flagpole is because in this game, there's a mechanic where you will have a little fireworks animation at the end of the stage, and that loses time. So we have to sort of sandbag in front of the flag to make sure that we're actually not getting that fireworks animation.
Yeah, that fireworks animation happens when the IGT ends with a 1, 3, or 6, and each of those will give you that amount of fireworks. So if we hadn't waited there, we would have got a 6 at the end of the IGT timer, which would have meant 6 fireworks. So waiting that 1 extra IGT actually saved, I believe it's up to 2 seconds.
So you would have seen Xylex accidentally select Mario there. Now, Mario's not used in this run because he's useless.
Yeah, Mario's very slow in this run. There's no real sort of use case for him, so we all just decided to use Toad and Luigi instead because they are speed demons. There are a few levels in which we use Peach where we have to cover very large gaps, but apart from that, Toad and Luigi is used for the vast majority of the run.
There's one stamp in 2-4 and for 80 stars where you have to use Mario. Other than that, I don't think you ever use Mario, and I guess 100%, but nobody wants 100%. Duh.
There's 5 characters in this game: Mario, Luigi, Toad, Peach, and Rosalina, and all of them, except for Mario, have their own little bonus quirk. Toad has an increased running speed, Luigi has an increased jump height, Peach can do a little mid-air float, and Rosalina, who you don't unlock until, I believe, 9-3.
9-2.
9-2. Oh, I
Sorry.
forgot that.
In post-game, you can do a mid-air spin, similar to the game she's from, Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, so there's tons of little secrets, and each character has their own sort of abilities that we use to our own advantage, basically, throughout the entire run. So we're entering into 2-4. This level's pretty easy.
The aforementioned 2-4, where the Mario stamp has to exist.
Yeah, unfortunately it's off screen, so we
won't be able to see it, but... So in that pipe over there is a room that there's a bunch of like music switches. I think some 80% runners do it. I'm not sure if it's done for like top runners. I think I did it at one point.
Yeah, sometimes it's faster, sometimes it isn't. Just really depends based on what route you want to do, because some people do it, some people don't. It's honestly just preference. I personally don't do it because I can't save time with it, but again, it just depends.
Yeah. And now we are entering into our first mystery house.
Yeah, we are entering into our first mystery house. We have tons of bonus levels in this game that get us extra stars, and because we need 170 throughout the whole run, we're going to need to use these bonus levels in order to gain stars very quickly. Over to the host.
Thank you very much. We've received £5 from Sky, who just says, good luck from the back of the room.
Hello, Sky.
Thank you very much indeed. Back to you.
Great. So currently we're just going to kill all of these enemies. So we're just going to work our way through this mystery house very easily. Should only take us around 40 seconds or so. There's a few little tricks that we use here to speed it up, as in you can use your pointer to hold down the star to collect it faster. That saves a ton of time considering there are 170 stars in the run. So yeah, I guess it's very useful throughout the entire run.
And now we get to my personal favorite level in this game.
Yes.
2-A.
2-A. Probably one of the hardest levels in the run, of course. Absolutely the hardest level in the game, as
yeah, he proves to be a very significant foe for us.
Yes, obviously.
Oh, wait, he's dead already.
Oh, well. No, he's dead already.
Yeah.
Big Galoom dead.
He put up a good fight.
Yeah, put up a very good fight there.
And the reason that's my favorite level is, as you'll see in a minute...
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Look at him. He's just a little guy.
Yeah.
It makes you feel bad for him, really.
Back to the
Yeah,
host.
it really does. Over to the host here.
Thank you very much. We've received £6 and 2 pence from Jukatox. Hello from the Mario community. Best of luck to Xylexsr and good morning, Tackle.
Good morning,
Hope everyone has a lovely time today.
Yeah, we are having a great time. Very much.
Thank you so much for generous donation. Very quickly, £6,875 and 11 pence for Crisis. Can we hit that 7K? Let's keep those donations coming in.
having a little bit of trouble with that P-switch there. You have to use both characters there game by using the double cherry power-up there. Obviously, you do it a lot quicker than what I just showed there, but yeah. Looks like this isn't a very good pace at the moment, but I'll try and gain it back the best I can.
It is a pretty long run, so it's not completely lost right now, at least.
There's plenty of opportunities we can gain time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, despite this pretty not amazing start, we can certainly bring it back for sure. So, currently we are moving on to the first auto-scroller in the run, which is 2-tank. We are probably just going to have to... Unfortunately, this is one of the auto-scrollers that you can't skip in this game. So, unfortunately, we're just going to have to sit through it for the next 2 minutes or so. So, if there's anything my commentators or the host would like to say, feel free, because this is just practically downtime.
Another micro time saver we haven't mentioned yet is the little yellow line that advances whenever you complete a level that's like on the main path. You'll notice that it advances rather quickly. Now, it wasn't actually known for a while that if you were to mash A during that, for some reason, the line just moves faster.
Yeah.
I think this was only discovered about a year ago.
It's on the same level as like in SMO, when you can run with Bowser in a 2D area, and like nobody discovered it for so long.
Yeah. So just a little bit here, I'm just gaining the right coins for fun. But a little tidbit here is that we have to bring this cannon box here. It is literally like just a cannon, and you can just shoot enemies like so. Basically, we have to keep a hold of this for the 3rd star at the end of this level. So you cannot take damage from here on in if you want the 3rd star. So I do have to be paying close attention to make sure that I don't lose it.
And fun fact, if you hold the cannonballs in front of you and you run into them, it gives you damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I learned that the hard way.
I think everyone learns that the hard way.
Yeah. It's not something that's very intuitive, because you think that like there's no form of like friendly fire, but unfortunately there is. So
yeah. You can just be having fun collecting coins with the pointer, and you accidentally hit the cannonball into yourself, and just your run's just not looking any good anymore.
Yeah. So looks like I'm going to try and push the auto-scroller as far as we can. Again, we have to do this very quickly here. Nice. 21. So we've got a little bit of a boss fight here, the first boss fight so far, which is just a little boom boom fight, which is pretty common in most Mario games, shall we say.
And a little fun fact, it's actually fastest to jump on him for the first 2 hits and then swipe him with the cat for the 3rd hit because of his animations.
Yeah.
And I know there's one person in particular, Abel, who's a friend of mine who runs the game, who's very, very adamant that everyone should know that. So,
I did not know that.
This is a public service announcement. You should use animations. That's 22.
Right, so we're now ending off with World 2. I'd say overall,
No! Oh, there's the
fireworks.
first one. There's the first one of many.
I was about to
probably.
jinx it, and then
Yeah. So that's the first fireworks of the run so far.
pretty though.
Yeah, very pretty. So just coming in to finishing World 2, just under 12 minutes. Usually the world record and my sort of level is around in the low 11s, like 11:25-ish. So it's decent, but certainly is improvable.
And the thing about using Switch for this game is that you can just skip all of these cutscenes.
Yeah.
I think in the Wii version you have to watch that cutscene, if I'm not mistaken. I might be, I don't know, I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's been so long. But like the opening cutscene you can skip all the... Well, I remember you can skip the Bowser cutscenes, like when Bowser shows up with his car.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure most other cutscenes as well you can skip.
Yep. Nice, got the star. That's pretty...
And this is Ice Glitch.
Yeah, this is Ice Glitch. So basically, if you just crouch on ice, you can just get lots of speed.
Yeah.
Simply just mashing crouch is enough to just gain speed for no apparent reason. You can just launch yourself across the stage.
And then Xylexsr grab that snowball there to grab that 3rd green star with the snowball.
Yeah.
Very good.
So, like, there's tons of, like, techniques that you can use in that level. Again, as aforementioned, there's the Ice Glitch. You can use your pointer to get all the stars using snowballs and that sort of thing. So it is very broken, and some of the fastest completions of that stage are just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those crazy levels.
Yeah. So moving on to my personal favorite level, which is 3-3. It's a very technical stage where you have to like gain speed over and over with Luigi. Honestly, I really love this stage. It's pretty good. So something that
Yeah, this level's really fun.
yeah. Especially when you can just sort of like crouch boost all over the place. The tight spaces make it a little bit difficult to try and maintain your speed, but that's honestly what I like about this level, is that it's a unique challenge.
There's this ledge here you can just like walk on and just skip the whole bookcase. I don't know why it exists, but it exists.
Yeah. Oh, missed a cycle. That was nearly BTT cycle. Nice.
And as we continue to, as Xylexsr continues to demonstrate, Luigi is very good in this game.
Yeah. As you can see there, I think that was a prime example of using Luigi just to gain so much speed.
Yeah.
And just coming out to the flagpole. What? Just kidding. It's over here.
And 6 fireworks.
And another fireworks, unfortunately. I was really hoping to get a 447 there, but unfortunately I was just short. So that is the second fireworks of the run. I think we will be keeping track of this because it's something that you should mostly avoid.
I always just didn't care.
Yeah.
That's probably why I did not
yeah.
get very good.
But yeah. We are going to see the return of a little legend that we have here, and it's somebody that's quite prevalent in the Mario series now. We are now controlling Captain Toad. Again, this is another one of our bonus levels where we have to do it to get extra stars, but this one's very fun and very cutesy, I promise.
And for every Captain Toad fan, we do 4 different Captain Toad levels in this run.
Yeah, and we actually do 2 back-to-back in World 5.
Yeah.
Which I will talk more about once we get there. So we just have to mash through this little text box and we can just run with Captain Toad. So unfortunately Captain Toad can't jump, so we can't just like cheese the entire level. You can use multiplayer and bubbles to gain like a bunch of stars here, and you can beat the level very quickly, but unfortunately for any percent you're only restricted to a single controller, so unfortunately you can't do that. So we're just going to have to play the level normally, take as tight as lines as possible to beat it as quickly. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just have to take good lines, don't fall off, which is easier said than done, definitely. It's very easy to fall off when you're not paying attention, but if you just take the correct amount of caution, then you should be fine.
Walking that little ledge over there, just skip the whole bit, and yeah, it's Captain Toad done.
Yep, just once we get that star.
This will not be the last you see your favorite character, though.
Yeah, this will not be the last of Captain Toad.
I mean, my favorite character is the guy in 2-A, but I mean, everyone else's is usually Captain Toad.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the boulders in 4-A.
I don't like the boulders very much. Me and boulders have some personal beef, okay?
I also have personal beef with the boulders.
Yes, definitely. So, we're moving on to one of 2 very short levels in this game. So, I think you will probably blink and you'll miss it here. This level takes around like 8 seconds, 12 in-game seconds sometimes, but I think pretty self-explanatory. Jump here. Let's do some more Vectoring and crouch boosting to gain some speed, get the star. Hopefully get on here. Oop. Oop. Okay, there we go.
No fireworks, at least.
We got there in the end. The thing that's very annoying is that flagpoles are like 2D like targets, and having a 2D target in a 3D game is so annoying. So like it is pretty common for like runners to like miss flagpoles and that sort of thing. It's very annoying, but it's unfortunately a reality that we just have to live with here.
And something we didn't mention earlier is when Xylexsr exited the Captain Toad level, she went and she hit the pause button and then went back to the map and then selected it again. It's slightly faster than just walking out the pipe and then walking to the 3-4.
Yeah, because the pipe cutscenes take so long, it's pretty common for people to go into the map menu and warp instead rather than sitting through the entire pipe cutscene there. So that's just a little optimization.
Yeah, you'll be seeing that a few times during the run.
Yeah. So you have a little bit of a relaxing level coming up. I want to say it's an auto-scroller, but it's not really. So it's just classic Mario water level. You can't really speed it up much, but there is a few optimizations we can use in the places that we can save time, aka here at the start, where you can just enter the pipe quickly, and also try and avoid going in the water here. Boop. There we go. So currently just going up to the first star here and then entering a little pipe here. If anybody wants to interject and say anything, this pipe cutscene is rather long.
I have anything to say.
Yeah, that's fine. I think
There
we've
is a
covered
little,
most of it.
A little Luigi guy.
Yeah, I'm just circling him with my pointer there. There is little 8-bit Luigis in every single level, so if you find the 8-bit Luigi, well done, and then props to you. If not, then maybe look harder or something. But some of them are very rare, like in 3-3, you have to wait and you have to grab extra timers and wait till the end of the level in order to see the 8-bit Luigi, but some of them are slightly more obvious than that, thankfully.
Mind if I say a few words then?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, thank you. We'd like to thank you for watching the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering. We are currently a 4-day speedrunning marathon that's coming to you live from Glasgow, Scotland. If any of you are watching now are interested in finding out about other marathons or submitting to UKSG in the future, don't forget to check out oengus.io. That's OENGUS.io,
Yeah.
where you can find information about upcoming marathons, the games being played, schedules, and more. Back over to you.
Great.
Oh, thank you.
That sounds very good. So it looks like we've gathered back a little bit of time now. Now we go into probably one of the hardest levels in the game here, 3-7. There's tons of like little big gaps that we have to try and come across. So it is very challenging to say the least. The fastest way to do it is using Luigi, as I'm about to do, but most runners would use Peach in order to try and tackle these massive gaps here. And as you see there, like the distance that you have to cover is a lot, but thankfully using our movement techniques, we're able to cover that distance pretty easily.
Yeah, and Nintendo wants you to just fall down the I don't know what you call the blocks, but the little blocks, the disappearing blocks, but you can just dive right past them and it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, the donut blocks are pretty slow in this game.
I always forget her name.
Yeah. Right, so here's a very tricky jump here. We're going to jump off the box here, hopefully, if I don't screw it up. Yeah, I definitely didn't do that the most optimally there, but as long as we get the star, we should be good. Go.
Ooh,
Okay.
that was close.
That was rather risky there. That wasn't
Yeah.
the best 3-7, but it's a very, very tricky level to get right.
You're up for it though. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Alex.
thanks very much.
Yeah, for the most part, simply just getting through that level alive is good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have lost many runs there.
Yeah, it is quite a common reset spot. I think like my reset percentage in that level is somewhere in the region of 20%. So yeah, I think coming out there relatively unscathed is a good result.
So now we're moving on to 3-3. Now, Nintendo wants this to be an auto-scroller, but we don't make it an auto-scroller.
Yeah, this is the first auto-scroller we can actually like take into our own hands in that sort of way.
Yeah.
As in like we can just fly between each trains and push the auto-scroller forward each time. So to concentrate a little. So we can just continue to fly between each train and just push the auto-scroller further forward each time.
Got a green star. Move back.
And there we go.
And there's Captain Toad. He's back.
There's Captain Toad again. Hello, welcome back, Captain Toad. Unfortunately, we can't play him until we get into World 5, but yeah, it's nice to see Captain Toad again. So now we have the return of Pom Pom, Boom Boom's, I don't know what the relationship is, I think sister,
I believe
but
sister, yeah.
Yeah, I think so there. Let's get a nice early hit here.
Yes, just barely got the early hit there. So, oop, there we go. So we've got a little bit of a guessing game here. We have to guess where Pom Pom's going to end up. Thankfully, I guessed correctly that time. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Is it just RNG or is it like...
I think it's RNG. I don't know. If somebody wants to correct me when I get back, then sure. But I think it is mostly RNG. Yeah.
I believe it's RNG where Pom Pom goes, but I think you can track it by looking at the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
little
like
bubbles.
very subtle differences.
It's very, very subtle and quite difficult to tell usually. Like you have to have very good eyes to be able to tell. where it is.
And that's World 3 done. And the good news
No.
for...
Well,
actually, I forgot there's
you
another
forgot.
level.
We have
No,
one more
that's-
level
No.
until the end of World 3. So yeah, I should have played into that. We should have been like, oh yeah, World 3's done, and
Yeah.
then
No, I legitimately forgot.
yes, okay. So yeah, I think this might be the only time that we have a little boss here. And if you've played this game before, I think you know what boss this is. So this is Histocrat here. So very, very famous. The theme tune absolutely slaps.
Yep.
So yeah, we will be fighting Histocrat here. Hopefully doing it as quickly as possible to get this run back on track to an extent. So just go up here, go in the little gondola, and then we just go and beat Histocrat here. Whoop. Oh, I pressed pause way too early there. But the reason why was because I was trying to buffer a spin to hit Histocrat instantly. So you can buffer a spin in the long jump to hit Histocrat like really quickly. So ultimately, Histocrat is basically a pushover in this game.
Yeah.
So like literally you can just like spin jump or ground pound jump and you can just hit Histocrat without having to wait for the platforms to arise.
Yeah. Like Histocrat is, as Ross said, it has like 3 different phases, a lot of different, a lot of different things you have to do, and then you just skip it all. But
Yeah.
just ground pounding.
I will mention the reason why I'm ground pounding is when I mistime crouch boosts. So basically, because you're crouching, you have to do it the moment that you hit the ground. So basically, if I'm too early, I will ground pound like that. If I'm too late, I will long jump, or just stop entirely if I missed my jump input. So it just depends, basically. So now we're finally done with
Yeah.
World 3. We can move on to World 4 here. So just moving in onto World 4, which is a bit of a desert-themed world here. So we've got a few levels to complete here before we take the warp pipe to go into World 5. Beating World 4 is very slow because there's a few slow levels, including the castle in 4-5. So we're just going to go ahead and skip those.
Luigi time! Let's go!
Moving to 4-1, which honestly is one of my favorite levels. It just has a really nice vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think the theme tune also slaps as well. Like, the music in this game is criminally underrated, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
See, this is the only thing in the game I will applaud is the music.
Yeah. Yeah, so just entering the pipe here. Just gonna get this star here. And for this section coming up, we're just going to cheese it. Usually you ride on these ants here, but obviously that's very slow. Oh, never mind. I'm in a little bit of trouble here.
Okay, you
yeah,
backed that out.
there we go.
You backed that well.
Yeah. Unfortunately there, that's... Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Okay, that was a
bit
lot
scarier.
scarier than I thought. That lost a little bit of time there, but
We
yeah.
made it out of our catsuit.
Yeah, we made it out alive. We still have one catsuit, and we can get one in the next level. Actually, the strategy that you use there is that you're actually meant to damage boost while doing that strat. So we still have the same sort of like catsuit there. I had to get a new one, otherwise I wouldn't have lived.
It was just very, very stressful there.
Yes, very much so. So
Alright.
moving on to 4-2, which is another one of my favorite levels here. It's a nice little cave level. Hopefully we don't lose our catsuit here, because that means that we will have to go for most of this level without an item. So avoided taking damage there. That's pretty risky, because
Yeah.
sometimes you can take damage there, sometimes you don't. Just depends, really.
And this is another one of the main levels that gets affected by the Switch version of the game, and we'll explain why later.
Yeah. Just getting a little bit of a slow dive there, unfortunately. Sometimes dives can come out very slow, and especially when you're sliding on the ground as well, that can also be very slow. So it's just literally try your best to avoid getting those slow slides. Ooh, looks like we missed getting a catsuit from the roulette block there. So,
Oh,
there we go, got the star.
the movement in this
Okay.
game scared me so much.
Yeah, it's very anxiety-inducing.
That's what I said.
Yeah. So turns out that actually wasn't that bad. So yeah, I think falling about a minute behind world record pace at the moment. So It's still going. It's still going pretty good. I haven't had any major mistakes yet, but trust me, there are much harder levels to come. So
Another thing to note about 4-2 with that roulette block is, luckily there is actually a safe timing for getting a catsuit from it every time. If you press on it with the cursor right as you hit the ground after leaving the pipe, then you actually get a catsuit every time.
Yeah.
That did not do.
which unfortunately I didn't do. I tried a different timing where as soon as you exit the pipe, you're able to click it and you get a catsuit every time. It's another way to do it that's slightly faster because you don't have to wait. But yeah. So up and coming is probably one of the hardest tricks in the game coming up. It's not the hardest trick. We'll get to that later on. But currently this is a level with tons of bounce pads, and there's a massive gap at the end that we have to cross. Most people do this with Peach, and if I'm being honest, it's usually a bit of an intermediate strat. So basically what the top runners do is that we use Toad here because we are able to turn him into an absolute speed demon and make sure that he's able to cross the gap.
Yeah, this is a strat that for intermediate level runs it's not that bad if you use Peach because you can just float. But with Toad, it is extremely difficult and extremely tight because you can't float and Toad doesn't jump very high.
Yeah, so it is pretty difficult to do. I will shout out one of my friends, Storm, who's part of the ILLing community of this game. If you didn't know, there's a lovely ILLing community in this game, and he did this itemless Toad on Wii U. I'm just going to play it safe here because I'm only on one catsuit there. But
yeah.
Usually you would continue your speed there, but I just decided to hold back because I wasn't sure. And
Go get you got it.
Yeah, looks like we're just coming in on the first half, in the first third of the game, just under half an hour. So it looks like we're just on pace for estimate. Yay! So currently we have the next of our bonus levels, which is for Mystery House. Instead of having 5 stars, there's 10 stars in this level. So it is very much worth it. So much so that there was an old skip in the Wii U where you would clip out bounds and be able to reach this level without having to beat 4-4, but unfortunately that got patched in the Switch version, which is the only strat to have been patched.
Yeah.
And yeah, that now means that we have to do 4-4 there, which I think is very fun because it is a very challenging level and brings a lot of life into the speedrun.
I will never forgive Nintendo for what they did.
Yes. I think there's tons of things we could never forgive Nintendo for, but hey.
At least they gave us 3D World.
Exactly. So we're just going to use like mostly crouch boosting here to gain our speed because most of it is in a straight line, but we can also add in a little bit of vectoring, maybe, if I do it right here to be able to get the stars here as quickly as possible.
Most of the stuff is kind of self-explanatory, just little mini rooms here.
Yeah, just got one more to go, and then we should be back in 4-2.
There you go.
Yay.
And Toad just teleports back onto the platform, so you can just send him as far off as you like, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, that's mostly fine.
Very fun.
So we're going to 4-2 now, which we need to go back to get the warp pipe to leave World 4 and enter World 5. So just a short little revisit to make sure that we can get into the pipe, and hopefully I can get my backup catsuit again. There we go.
Oh.
Nice.
Alright, let's see it.
That was pretty smooth.
Let's see it.
Right.
Ah!
Yeah, I was slightly too early once again, unfortunately, but leaving it at a very decent pace, about like 128.
And on the Wii U version, like as I said earlier, you skip 4-3 and 4-4, 4-3?
4-4.
4-4, and you did the Master House due to the glitch, but because it got patched, we do the entirety 4-2, 4-4, and then 4 Mystery House, and then go back and do, which does suck, but because it's a little, that is slower, but the Switch version is still faster by so much, so it doesn't really matter that much.
All right.
It's Captain Toad!
It's Captain Toad again. Welcome back to the Captain Toad verse. Not only have we got one Captain Toad level in store for you in a row, we have two, because we have a little secret entrance that gets us to World 1, which we'll be showing off once we complete this level.
Yeah.
And we will be able to do not only this Captain Toad, but the Captain Toad in World 1.
Luckily, those doors there are not RNG, as I
Yes.
originally thought when I played this game.
Yeah, thankfully the doors are very deterministic, so we can just pick the right door and make sure that we're able to beat this level as fast as possible.
Damage boost there.
Yeah, a little damage boost there, just so we don't have to wait on the booze.
Around the platforms and drop into the star.
Yes. So yeah, little shout out to Captain Toad. Captain Toad is
Yeah.
great.
Captain Toad's the best part of the run by far.
Yeah, absolutely. So not only are we seeing him once, we will be seeing him twice after doing a little bit of world map movement here. So we're just on a little walk, a little stroll through the world map here. So we're gonna go World 5 into this little secret area here, take this pipe here, and all of a sudden, boom, we're in World 1.
Come on, yay!
Yay! So usually you would have to beat 1-A in order to unlock this level, but because we didn't, we have to take that secret entrance in order to get to the level ultimately.
Which is fine, because I don't think we'll still World 1 anyways.
Yep. So this one's fairly simple, Captain Toad. You have to make this platform cycle here. It's relatively lenient, but you end up getting this 1 star here, and you end up trying to get this platform cycle, which is easy enough. And looks like we did pretty well there. So now we're moving on to 5-1. 5-1's a very interesting level.
You're gonna see
You're
why.
gonna see why the movement techniques in this game are just so incredibly busted. So the whole premise of 5-1 is that you're meant to gain 5 key coins around what's basically an open world in order to progress. But with the movement techniques that we have in this game, the key coins are basically just a suggestion at this point. So we just want to get the first star because that's nice and quick, and we're just going to gain some speed and jump over here to the main island.
Yeah, very nice. Oh,
There we go. Yeah, that was a little bit sketchy, but we got there in the end.
And we hop on Plessy.
Yeah. So now you got a little Plessy ride. I think this is the one and only time we see Plessy in any percent.
Technically, and
technically,
8-2 sometimes. Some people.
Some runners do 8-2, but the top runners mainly only have Plessy in 5-1.
Again, shout out to Abel, who is very vocal about their hatred for 8-2.
Yes, shout out there, but yeah. I think like 8-2 is mainly a beginner level because it's a bit of an auto-scroller basically. Most of these Plessy sessions or sections are just auto-scrollers, so we can just cruise our way through and not lose any time whatsoever.
Plessy has a very simple top speed and it's forward, so there's not really much else to go by besides like aiming to the left or right.
There we go. Just sandbagging for fireworks as well.
Oh, I thought you did that by accident.
No, I did not do that.
Yeah,
for accident.
I saw the time. I was like, oh wait, never mind.
Yeah. So we're only still at 2 fireworks, which is still pretty decent so far.
Could be a lot more.
Yeah. All right, so we're moving on to the last of our very short levels. As you may recall from World 3, we had a very short level, and here's another one of them. So this one's even shorter than the previous level in World 3. We can beat this in about 11 in-game seconds, or about like 7 seconds RTA. And yeah, it just seems like Nintendo got very lazy when crafting these levels and just wanted to create something very short. We can just totally tear this level apart.
This level's actually quite fun if you do it the intended way, because you're supposed to collect the double cherry a bunch of times so that you can stand on these platforms to have enough to like rise up. The thing is, we have the cat suits, we can just climb the walls.
Yeah, what you
Exactly.
realize about not only this game, but every single game Nintendo designs is that they always forget key mechanics of the game whenever they're designing it. Like, they have like a whole double cherry level that can just get bypassed by a cat suit. You got the Galaxy games where Nintendo forgets you can spend half the time.
You've got Mario 64 shocking arrow lifts, where not only did they add a warp where you can just go above the star from the bottom of the level, but even without like using that, you can just long jump across the pit instead of using the arrow lifts that's in the title of the star.
Yeah. So again, we've got another level. I think this one's also another bit of a pushover here.
Yeah, they tried their best.
Yes, I got a 5. So usually I only get 6 IGT, and I usually get other people being like, oh, why can't you get 5? But there you go. I got 5 in-game seconds for you. There you go. So currently moving on to probably one of the best levels in the game, 5-4. It's nice and open world, so we really get to see the effects of vectoring and crouch boosting put together here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll also gain like I'll also be able to get an extra catsuit here as well, which is very nice if anything goes wrong.
It gives you an idea of just how large the level is when it has sprawling in the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they weren't joking when they put sprawling in the name.
You just start by climbing up a bit, and you're like, oh, where's this sprawling savannah you speak of? I'm just gonna skip these pipes.
And we're just gonna skip these pipes here. Taking these pipes are slow, so we're just gonna climb up here. So here's the really sprawling bit here. I'm just gonna grab a catsuit just to make sure, because if I die without a catsuit, that would be very bad. So just grab one of the bunnies for one of the stars, and here's really where we just gain so much speed here.
Yeah. The speed's just a joke in this game sometimes.
Yeah, like literally, there isn't any movement cap in this game, so like you can just go as fast as your heart desires. And there's many clips of people in 5-4 just taking the absolute mick out of. There we go. That was a little bit scary. That's one of the flagpoles where it's very difficult to like not do fireworks, because sometimes you might snap back and like die there. Like it's a very challenging section, but yeah, looks like we're doing pretty well here. We're on pretty decent time. So onto 5-6 here. You may recognize the gimmick of the swinging platforms from Super Mario Galaxy, which tackle runs mainly.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we don't have spins in this game apart from when you unlock Rosalina. So it switches every time you jump. So it's very difficult to try and manage that mechanic along with everything else going on in this level, but it's fairly short, so we can just be able to beat this level, only get 2 stars because the second star is very slow, and just be able to get out of here.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest levels for beginners. I say speaking as one. It's
Yeah.
very easy to get confused as to whether a jump will kill you or not. You try and jump to a different platform, and that platform just leaves. It's quite difficult to think about.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. So yeah, moving on to another difficult level. Like the entirety of Late World 5 is just filled with like tons of like hazards. Again, you've got the flipping platforms in 5-6. You've also got bullet bills here in 5-7. This one's another very tricky level for beginners, but once you're at top level, you know how to manage your way around it.
Just skipping the entire first section, Nintendo design.
Yeah.
Just no biggie.
Okay, just a little bit iffy there. So just crouch boosting our way along, gaining tons of speed once again.
There's a very head and wall here.
Yeah, we're gonna save that trampoline in the distance for later. Quickly get up here. We're gonna save that trampoline in the distance for later, and we're gonna use it to scale up this wall here. So we're just gonna put it here. Hopefully ground pound on it, and we're just gonna get the star.
Yeah, normally I meant to guide wheelbills into the blocks and hit them, but we don't have time for that. So
Yeah, we don't have time for that here, so we can literally just like swipe next to the star and just climb up there. So yeah. Moving on to 5 Castle now. Looks like we're making very good time. So there was a new strategy discovered in 5-Castle where you're able to gain the second star, which is on a fixed cycle. You're able to gain it a cycle quicker than what you usually were able to do. I'll try it. It's very difficult. It's never been hit in a world record or personal best before, so here's hoping that I'll be able to show it off to you guys here. Just have this first section here, just have to make sure that we don't take any damage, which I nearly did there, but thankfully there's not spikes on the inside of those frames there. Yes, got it. There we go. Let's go.
Oh.
And then I go on to lose my catsuit.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, that saves tons of time. over the old way. That saves about like 4 or 5 seconds, so it's very much worth doing. So even though it's I lost my Katsu there, I'm still saving time over not doing it.
And we got this guy who is a very, very difficult boss, I can assure you.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he as long as you stand in the same place, he'll always attack in the same spot, so you can just predict where he's going to go and just wait for him.
Yeah. So hopefully we're going to get 309 here, it seems. Maybe? No, 307 probably, or 308. Again, using crouch boosting. Fun fact, you can crouch boost off slopes and just, oh, never mind. You can actually get like a much bigger boost than what you usually would. It's a very difficult technique because you also have to hold a Y button as well. So it is very challenging to pull off.
And back to the host.
Back to the host.
Thank you very much indeed. We'd just like to remind everyone we are raising money for Crisis. It's been getting a bit quiet here. You need to keep me busy, folks. Get those donations coming in. If you do donate, not only will we be benefiting Crisis, but we do have a couple of bid wars for you to put your donations towards. We have the final boss character choice for Diddy Kong Racing. Who should Leah play against the final boss? Currently, we've got Conker out in front, £56.50, with Banjo second at £31.90. Diddy Kong on £5, Pipsy on £5, Bumper on 0, Drumstick on 0, Crunch on 0, Timber on 0, and Tip Tap on 0. Lots of options there. Please get the donations in. And also we have for the end of the event the Choose the End of the End bid war for Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Do you want to choose how it ends? Currently the Grim Reaper is out in front with £30. We have Dockside Dispatch at £5 and Epic Stealthy Battle, third option, on nothing at the moment. So please get those donations in. Thank you very much indeed. Keep donating for Crisis. Back over to you.
Yeah, so as we saw there, this level can be very tricky. The intended way of completing this level is using the clear pipes here. So basically you would ride into the clear pipes and get all the sort of main objectives. But obviously the clear pipes are slow, so we're going to have to skip all of them. The strat I did after the checkpoint is very difficult, and I'm really happy that I got it there.
Yeah.
Just sandbagging.
We can assure you, Zalz is very worried about that strat.
Yes, I was very worried about that one in the practice room. So looks like we are just over halfway through the run. So far, so currently the halfway point is when you leave World 5, so looks like we're mostly halfway through the run. So this is World 6, and World 6 is probably one of the most difficult worlds in this game, as obviously mentioned in that one donation at the start. So there are tons of things that can go wrong here, and I will explain them as they come up here. So on the 6-2 here, we have tons of bullies that we have to try and take out. Here.
Yeah, and they are very not appreciated.
No, they don't like to cooperate very often, so we have to sort of try and make sure that we can eliminate them and make progress through the level.
And there's a whole like different section we just completely skipped over because Nintendo did a very bad job of blocking it off.
Yeah, so we can just go right past the like inside of the ship there. So moving on now to a strat that's very, very important here. This is Lightning 6-4. It's never been pulled off before in a marathon run before. It was mentioned at King J's run at PAX 2 weeks ago. So basically, there is a very, very, very tight cycle that you can get in this run. And ultimately, it's the hardest trick in the game. There's only a few runners that have been able to ever pull it off. And hopefully, I'll be able to get it, even though it is very difficult, and I only have one Katsu. So
we'll give
here we go.
Quiet time here.
Yes.
Luigi time. Let's go. Got it. Goodie.
Yes!
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 Very well
Round of
done.
applause, everyone. Woo!
That trick is very, very difficult.
Yeah. So we just need to get the last star, and there we go.
Yeah, that was
That's
very
the end
good.
of the level.
That was
so,
very good.
Yeah, massive sigh of relief there.
Meow.
So currently moving on to the next blockade here. Sticking with the bully theme, we have Prince Bully here. So hopefully this will...
As RNG, by the way.
Which is
RNG.
very much RNG, by
It's
the
RNG.
way. Absolutely, very much so. So basically, we just have to push this guy around, and it's RNG on what pipe he goes into. So like in this case, like you want him to go in the next pipe over, but sometimes he might do this and go into a pipe that's very far away, and that loses a little bit of time. So yeah. Overall, that wasn't too bad. Just typical 273.
I think we may have gotten someone angry for our comments right there.
Yeah, there might be a few angry comments there, but I can assure you it probably is RNG. I'm superstitious about it, but genuinely though, it is based on like when you put the bully into the pipe. I just messed up the timing there for it. So yeah, and I just blame the game, blame it on RNG.
Because it's always game's fault.
Yeah, it's always the game's fault, absolutely.
Yeah, it's RNG that works in a certain manner every time. So we do
Yes.
know how it works, but it's still effectively RNG because it's not really replicatable unless you do the exact same movement every time.
Yeah. So basically, I was just getting another catsuit there just in case anything were to happen, because there's a tricky few levels coming up here. So. Whoop. So we're able to make that jump with Toad by vectoring there. It was a little bit tight because my angle was off, but yeah, I think just going to lose a little bit of time in the stage, obviously because I had to get the catsuit there and because my jump wasn't very good. But the rest of this level is fairly straightforward. Just able to climb up here using Toads, get third star, and finish up here. I probably could have gotten 447 there, but again, I had to just wait for fireworks there. Massive inconvenience, but yeah.
Now coming up with a very interesting level right here.
Again, this is another sort of visually impressive trick here. So this level is an auto-scroller, but we can just totally cheese it and just hit all the trigger points in this auto-scroller. So like it will just be over in about 40 seconds, even though the auto-scroller itself takes 2 minutes here. So hopefully I'm able to pull this off. This is pretty difficult. There was a new way of doing this that was found that saves a little bit of time, so here's hoping I'm able to do it. There we go. Just scroll down the screen there. Got very good zoom, so it's going to be pretty good. Yes, hit the trigger point. Hopefully I got the ending in time. And there we go.
Perfect. Nice.
There we go.
One thing to note is the reason we were so silent there is because a lot of these off-screen movements are aided a lot by the in-game sounds. Sort of hearing Toad land on a platform, you get that little huh, and you can use that to know, okay, now it's time to jump again.
Yeah. So we're able to just blitz our way through the auto-scroller. Over to you, host.
Thank you so much indeed. We've received £5 from Willow RG. Since you asked so nicely, Tim, here's a £5. Let's get that conker. Well, thank you very much indeed. Conker is out in front at the moment. Quick refresh on that for you very quickly. Conker on £61.50, £31.90 for Banjo. Still a bit of time on that, but please keep those donations coming in. All goes towards Crisis. Thank you very much indeed. 6,880. Can we hit 7K? Let's get those donations in.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
That's amazing. So currently here, we are just going to completely cheese this level with the in-game gyroscope here. So we can just totally cheese this level and just use the gyroscope to bust it apart. Because usually you're meant to throw the baseballs in order to hit these panels or whatever target, but we can just use our pointer. And the level's a total push.
Another
pushover.
example of Nintendo forgetting a mechanic in the game when designing a level.
Yes, exactly.
Especially considering this game was the first to include the in-game gyro.
Yeah, absolutely. So coming up, we have, unfortunately, another unskippable auto-scroller here. There is a ways that you can make it faster, but unfortunately, we just can't skip the whole thing. So we'll be staying here for another 100 seconds, enjoying our auto-scrollers here.
Yeah, these are always I always hated these levels when I played the game.
Yeah. So I think we're just going to have to like sit through all of these. I think currently foreshadowing here, if you know, you know here, but I will get to this later on in the run.
If you don't know, you will hopefully be very excited.
Yeah, you will find out about what this means for the run later on. I think in about like 5-10 minutes or so, you'll be able to find out. So yeah, definitely stay tuned. So we just have to really sit in this auto-scroller. There's no bits where you don't have to take damage or anything like that. We just have to like sit through it and make sure that we're pushing the auto-scroller as far as we can.
And one thing we do need to make sure is that we bring a bomb with us here.
Yeah, so you just get a bomb, get the star, and then try and push the auto-scroller forwards here.
Yeah, that green star back for no reason is one of the most annoying green stars in the game for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
For reference, you couldn't quite see it on, but those stone blocks that just got blown up there, the star is in one of those, so unless you bring a bomb with you, you can't get that green star.
Okay. Ooh, that was a little bit scary there. I didn't see my character off screen.
Yeah.
That can be very scary there, but I lost a little bit of time, but overall it's fine.
I mean, back to Boom Boom.
We're back to Boom Boom again, part 2. So this boss fight's a little bit different. You'll probably see what the little twist is here, but again, use another pushover. As long as you remember your animations, as in jumping on Boom Boom for the first 2 times, and then scratching Boom Boom for the 3rd, should be fine.
Yeah, he tries to take a page out of his sister's book, Pom Pom, by spawning some little clones next to him. But the thing he kind of forgets is that he always spawns on the same side every time, so it's pretty easy to work out which one's him.
Yep.
And unfortunately, he does not hold a candle to 2-A guy.
Oh, another fireworks again.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3 and 3 fireworks.
Yes.
Symbolic.
Amazing.
Okay, we're doing the bet now. All right, so now we're done with World 6.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
other.
Yeah, we're moving
there's
on to
no
World
other
7.
We're moving on to World 7.
World 7 is, sorry, the World Bowser, isn't it?
No,
Or is it World
World
8?
Castle.
World Castle, yes, of course.
Yes, World Castle. So we are moving on to World 7 here. We will currently just through this pipe here, just going through the clouds. Oh, what? Oh, looks like we have another boss fight to do here, unfortunately.
Yeah. And unfortunately, he's not as good as Hestocrat.
Yeah, unfortunately not. So this is Motley Boss Blob. He's a little bit of a clown, literally speaking. So we'll be able... There's no ways to, unfortunately, cheese this boss fight, so we just have to do it as fast as we can. So ultimately, we go into the boss arena, ride the gondola once again.
By far my least favorite boss in the game, personally.
Yeah, I would agree. Again, animations also apply to Motley Boss Blob here, so we just have to make sure that we can complete this as fast as possible. Oh, never mind. So sometimes it can be very difficult to judge where Motley ends up spawning. He always spawns towards the center of the arena, which usually gives us a little bit of a guide as to where he's going. But again, it can be very difficult to judge exactly where he spawns. Thankfully, I got it right that time, but yeah, it can be quite difficult to judge. Just coming up to the last phase here. Just need to swipe him here. There we go.
And he's done.
There we go.
Hey, like, very boring boss.
Oop, get in the pipe.
One thing that the game wants you to do there is to grab the double cherries so you can, because obviously, you know, you split him up into pieces and then you merge into them. Not really quite sure what that means with Toad. It might be quite painful, but...
Yeah. Looks like we're making really, really good time here, actually. So I think I'm only about 50 seconds behind world record pace at the moment. So like I'm on pace for around a 1:25. So apart from that, a bit of a slow start in early game. Looks like we're making some really good time here. So
okay,
now we're actually going on to World 7.
And this is my personal least favorite one in the game. I don't know about you.
The Fire World.
I like World 7 now. It takes a lot of practice to get right, but it's nice and short and sweet. And hopefully we'd be able to get this over and done with here.
What would happen is I'd be on like 141 pace every single run, and then I just kill like I'd lose like 4 minutes to World 7 every single time, and I didn't beat it either.
Yeah.
Crazy time. Let's go.
I still haven't died yet. I probably should not say that because
Yeah.
I will probably die in this level because this level is very tricky. But the difficulty progression in this game is very, very good. Like, there is an obviously notable step up in the difficulty of each level. Again, we're skipping clear pipes here because they are slow and not something that we want to really do.
A lot of the movement in this game is just skipping small, like, for example, right there was a warp block at the start, and we just skipped because we didn't need it, and there's another warp block that we're skipping because we don't need it.
Oh, okay.
And I almost junked Xylexsr there,
Yeah.
and
So there we go. We had to skip a little star there. Again, it's in a pipe. It's very slow, so we just only got 2 stars in that level there. So we are moving on to a little level called Red Hot Run. This is probably one of the worst levels for beginners. So it consists of tons of boost pads and you have to try and control your speed. So obviously it makes plenty of sense that because they are called boost panels that you would use them to beat the level in the fastest way possible.
No.
Unfortunately for us, we have vectoring and crouch boosting once again to prove why that isn't the case.
isn't like Toad running like almost as fast as the boost panels anyways? Like,
Yes, exactly. Oh,
oh,
there we go. There we go. There it is.
That had to happen sometime.
It had to happen at some point, which is why I got that extra cat suit.
Yeah, this is my least favorite level in the entire game.
Oh, accidentally went into the boost panel there. Okay. Rather sketch, but it's fine.
Yeah, you can see that if you were to take the boost panels, there's a lot of things in your way that can very easily damage you and throw you off and just make you fall off in general.
Just going around to get a star there. Did that a little bit unoptimally. I don't know what my cycle is here. That's fine. Just skipping the last pipe here. Very difficult jump, and there we go. That's just done with 7-3, finally.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but it's inevitable.
Yeah, it was pretty inevitable that it would have a death somewhere.
Yeah. This game is very difficult. Like, I think you can kind of see just from the movement how difficult the game actually is.
Yeah, like it is very difficult to, because you have so much speed, it's so hard to control it, and it takes hundreds of hours to try and master that.
Exactly, yeah.
So what I was hinting towards earlier, I was pointing to a little thing called the Tanuki leaf, and this is really where this thing starts to shine. As obviously, as you may have noticed, the gaps get a lot bigger, and obviously we need something else to carry ourselves over that gap. So this is the first level where you see the introduction of the Tanuki leaf here. Let's get it from this island, and we ideally should hold on to this for the rest of the run. It's very tricky to try and balance both power-ups, and it does lead to a lot of runs dying, so it can be very tricky to deal with. Here, but hopefully I'm able to do just fine.
And even if it can't, you still get ridiculous amounts of speed.
Yeah, exactly. So I was able to just skip over that entire section with the Tanuki. You can really just see how powerful it is, just having a Tanuki in your back pocket here. That would have actually been a gold for me, by the way. So yeah, that was very good. But unfortunately,
I have to note that down.
Yeah, write that down. So yeah, that was a really good 7-4 there. So again, we have another little blockade level here, and this is probably one of the most difficult blockade levels. Like, if you have to juggle each boulder independently of each other, and if one of them die, you lose 9 seconds because you lose a cycle. It's very challenging to get right, and hopefully I'll be able to do that here.
Was this one your favorite, or was it the other one?
This is the other one. This one is actually one of my least favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, same.
I think a lot of people would unanimously agree with that then. We just set this one off to the sides here. Hopefully it does not get hit.
Yeah, we just keep tapping the boulder that we're holding so that it doesn't wake up on top of us and blow us up.
There we go.
That was very good.
Able to get cycle there. So yeah. There we go. 164.
One good thing that I'm actually happy about in that level is that one time I accidentally managed to hit the boss on the first frame after he came out of his animation. My proudest moments in this game.
That's great. Yay. So on to another level, 7-5. This one's just a very long tower. In fact, 2 towers. So yeah, we're just going to hopefully get through this. There's some tough cycles that you have to hit, but yeah, I'm going to interject for the host here.
Thank you very much. We've received £5 from Gribby Hunter. This run has been an incredible watch live. Let's get Conker to get his time to shine again with that final boss choice. And I must also give a little shout out again to the fantastic Grimmy Hunter for the wonderful run earlier on today. Hope everybody enjoyed that. And £5 from Scorch. Question for Runner and Couch. What is the best 3D Mario category? And before Tackle says anything, no, Galaxy 2 isn't a correct answer. Thank you very much indeed.
When did I ever say Galaxy was my favorite? That's always been my least favorite.
Looks like we're actually in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, no. Oh, that's my first big mistake of the run so far. So thankfully there is one and only one catsuit here, but we have to do this whole level all over again, unfortunately.
I never understood why they only give us one catsuit.
Yeah. So this is looks like we have to play through this entire level all over again, which is very tricky. I really wanted to try and practice this, but yeah, it's a challenge. So that is the second death of many. As you can see, there's obviously a massive difficulty spike. I'll just go for the save cycle here.
At least you don't need to re-grab the green star through the blocks.
Yeah, that's a good thing about the... Yeah, another good thing about the Switch version though is that the green stars save.
Yeah, so like when you die on the Switch version, oh, this is very precarious. I'm doing a certified intensive here. Yeah, I'm doing a certified intensive here. I'm just going to save reloads here. I'm doing a certified intensive here, and if you don't know, Intensive's a community runner, but he's very famous for not doing very well in 7.5, let's say. So we have to, unfortunately, get the green stars all over again. I had to reload save because I would have lost my Tanuki, and yeah, all in all, this level isn't going very well.
It's another one of those really difficult levels.
Yeah.
And there's so many really difficult levels, especially in the latter stages of the game.
Yeah.
Which, as pointed out earlier, is because of the difficulty spike in the game mainly.
Yeah.
One thing to note though is obviously we have our Katsu back, because when you load the save, you of course get your items back, because the game didn't know that you'd lost them because you hadn't left the game and saved since then.
Yeah, so thankfully we're able to get our lovely... Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Never mind. I'm actually doing a certified intensive.
This is another one of my least favorite levels, and I don't think it's hard to see why.
No. It's not going very well.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult cycle. I guess I'll just go for an easy one, just make sure I'm able to keep my Katsu here. So looks like we're just going to be bleeding time here, fortunately.
Just how the game goes sometimes.
Yeah, it really just is how the cookie crumbles, really. Because it is very difficult to try and, like, manage here. So hopefully we're able to get it right this time. Fourth time lucky, hopefully. But yeah, it's very difficult. Just gonna stick to the OG cycle here. What I'm more familiar with. So hopefully we should be able to just get through the level this time. No issues. Okay. So this is very frustrating, but we'll finally be able to make sure that this level's over and done with now. So little crouch boost at the end. And just switching to Tanuki for the next level. So, very frustrating there. It's probably hurt my pace a lot. Still, hopefully on pace to come in under estimate, but yeah, that hurt quite a bit.
Yeah, it's just this game is very punishing with its mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes that can send you back multiple minutes.
Absolutely. So, unfortunately, for the last time, this will be the last time that we will be seeing Captain Toad, unfortunately. So, wave your last goodbyes to Captain Toad. Just got a short little level here. Do have to do some gyro control with the thwomps here, but yeah.
And while we did a Captain Toad level, we need to answer Scorch's question. What's your favorite 3D Mario category?
I think for me personally, it's got to be a little category extension in this game, because in 2-Dash Castle, which we not 2-Dash Castle, sorry.
4-Dash Castle.
4-Dash Castle, which we skipped in this game. There's one green star which comes in as a very strange shape, and I think the name of the category really says it all. Is it's called PP bridge percent.
Yes.
Yep.
Because when you stand on two P switches, a little platform comes out in
Yes.
a rather interesting shape.
Yes. I don't think we need to elaborate on that much more.
I'm surprised you didn't say enter all domes.
Yes.
I got to keep it on topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep it on topic because none of them are from this game.
Yeah. So thanks, Bush, for keeping it on topic. This is actually one of the only times where entering the pipe is faster here because the world's map is actually so big in this stage. So we're just going to use the pipe here. And this is really the first instance in which Tanuki really starts to shine here. So 7-7 is a level with rising lava here. It's a bit like the floor is lava gimmick from years and years ago, if you know what I mean. But we can just use Tanuki just to completely fly over this level here.
Oh, my. Oh. Got it.
Oh, nearly there. We thankfully were able to save that. It's like we're just coming in here, and
Yeah, this is another example of the game's just stupid movement about how you just go so fast.
yeah, like you can just maintain your speed. And that's another thing about the Tanuki is that it can clear big gaps. So like where you would need to reset speed for the catsuit, you could maintain that speed using Tanuki as well. And it's mostly effective in these later levels with larger gaps and that sort of thing. So yeah, coming up to 7-Castle here, another little level. We have a little skip coming up here where for the third star, you're able to use Boomerang to get it. Fortunately for us, we don't need to use Boomerang because we have a Tanuki suit, so we can just float our way to the third star, hopefully. Unfortunate long jump there. There we go.
Very
We're
nice.
able to get that third star there. I was a little bit worried about that trick. It's not the easiest trick ever, so there we go.
Another thing to mention is that second green star is very notorious for entry-level runners because if you don't have a catsuit, you would think you would be able to get up, but there is technically a backup, which is to do a thing called 90-degree wall jumps. Now, those aren't too hard, but it requires you to know what you're doing. And so for a lot of low-level runners, if you don't have a catsuit there, it can be very painful to try and back up that star.
Yeah, very much so.
Fun fact, in a 540 relay, which is all the 3D Mario games 90%, I was running this category one time, and this is back when I was really, really, really bad. And I was on a Wii U version, and I spent about 20 minutes on this level because I could not keep a boomerang and a catsuit to save my life for the entire. I was like, it was terrible.
So just coming up to the end of World 7, we're about to save all the Sprixies here because the Sprixies are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sprixies are saved, you know, he saved the kingdom.
Yeah.
No, nothing else really.
Yeah.
Game's done. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing. Ooh.
Yeah, where's the point?
What?
What? Oh. Oh.
Where did he?
We got the Bowser glitch.
Like
Yeah.
crashed his car. What happened?
Yeah, I thought he crashed his car there, so...
Oh, no.
No. Look, we have one more world to go, which is World Bowser.
Yeah.
So that is coming up very soon. So it takes around, for most high-level runners, around 20 minutes. Hopefully I can play it pretty well here. So yeah, ignore that 14-minute World Castle. I know probably tons of people are going to say to me, why are you getting like 14-minute World Castles? That sucks. It does, but ignore 7-5. This run has gone pretty well so far. So we are moving on to 8-1 here, another level where we really get to see the effects of Tanuki here. Like we can just gain an ungodly amount of speed and just cheese the entire level.
And of course we get the absolute banger that is the World 8 music.
Yes.
To be honest, all of the World 8 music just goes really hard. Like,
Yeah, it absolutely slaps here. Yeah, it's a complete banger. So moving on to 8-1, hopefully I'm able to hit this Tanuki trick
Luigi time.
here.
Let's go.
Oh, there we go.
Got it.
Hopefully make it all the way over here. There we go.
Very nice. Over yet.
Nice. This is going to be very good.
Yeah, that was very solid.
Yeah, very solid. So yeah, that is probably one of the harder Tanuki levels for sure. So currently we are going to take a back seat from the Tanuki for the next 2 levels, and we will be bringing it for the next 5 levels, I think. We're just going to hold on to the Tanuki for some levels towards the end of World Bowser, but hopefully we're able to hang on to our cat suit for until then. So.
One fun fact I find really a little design choice that I think is really nice is in this game you will have noticed at the end of 7-Castle is that obviously we saved the Sprixies. There's only ever the amount of Sprixies like there that you've saved. So there was 5 Sprixies for us, and that's because we've only saved 5 Sprixies. If you'd done all of the worlds, you know, not skipped the World 2 and World 4 castles, then there would have been all 7 Sprixies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can I say? That's how the cookie crumbles.
Literally.
Cookies? Oh, I didn't even intend that.
Yeah, just having a little bit of trouble there. You can get the star on the back of that spinning cookie there. It is a little bit difficult, but if you've practiced it enough, then it should be fine. You're just going to do this massive jump here over to this platform.
Grab the bunny, and the bunny's heading a star.
Yeah, there you go.
He is hoarding it.
So fairly simple there, apart from that one mistake that I've made. So
I guess you could call him a star
oh,
bunny.
fireworks number
fireworks
4.
number
Firework
4.
number
Free,
4.
free, free.
3, 3, 3. So that is the 4th fireworks of the run. Honestly, I've been doing not too bad in terms of fireworks, so yeah.
Sadly, that doesn't win the jackpot.
No. Close but no cigar, unfortunately, Bush.
Although Nintendo did add gambling to this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have lovely little slot machines plastered around every world that we're able to unlock, so...
And there it is.
And there it is.
I that's why I mentioned it. I was pretty sure it
Yes.
came now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
again, unfortunately, we have the last of our unskippable auto-scrollers here in 8-Train. We have to wait another 60 seconds to get through this auto-scroller, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fun fact, in a tournament match for 3D Mario Madness, I died at the end here and lost 2 minutes.
Oh, I've died at the end here before as well. It's a fairly common. There's another 8-bit Luigi there. If you had kept your eyes peeled, there would be another 8-bit Luigi.
Yeah, you can just remove the eyes from these.
Yeah.
Yeah, sunglasses.
It makes
quite
it,
sure
it
what they
makes it
are.
a bit harder to hit you because you can't see that. And more billies, which are always a welcome addition.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just kind of bully them.
Just saying, you shouldn't swim in the water because it uses more coins for this box. So ideally, we want to avoid going into the water in order to conserve our extra hit into the pom-pom fight. So we're just going to try and run here.
Yeah, and then Free-Dash Train, I think that there was a stamp. That was the green star.
Yeah. So we're just able to get that star there.
And-
And now it's pom-pom once again.
I never really hit. Nice.
Nice, and we got the fast hit. Nice. You just wait there, I don't go for it there. Center? Never mind. It's pretty common as well. So that's the last that we will be seeing a pom-pom, unfortunately. So it's got a little ending here.
I thought she was in the top left, to be honest. Just goes to show how hard it is.
Yes. So, sometimes pom-pom can be in the top left, sometimes it can be there. Usually there's positions that are more common than others, and it's up to you to memorize those positions, but if you play the game enough, it should be pretty easy to memorize. So just about to go on to 8-4 here. There's a little skip at the start where we do a big jump after the first star. Hopefully I'll be able to get it. We'll see. But yeah, it can be a little bit challenging.
And side note, this may be an unpopular opinion. This level is my favorite music in the game.
Yeah, fair enough. It's quite quaint, ambient.
Yeah,
shall we
I'm an ambiance guy.
say. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately I just didn't have the right angle there, so I just wanted to make sure that I didn't die. Because obviously I only have one catsuit and one Tanuki, and I have to balance this throughout the entire run, so
Yeah, keeping that is very important.
yeah. So there we go. And so we're going up here. Big scary jump. There we go.
Luckily, these platforms are always in the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like based on RNG or anything like that. They're just obscured, and you have to figure out where they are.
Yeah, despite the name Footlight Lane, which make you think they glow underfoot, which they do, you can also just activate them with the pointer, which
Yeah.
just makes you able to see them without even being there.
It feels like the pointer in this game is like motion controls on Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like, it just gives you so many advantages.
I'm just going to interject very quickly. Your community is popping off in the
Yes.
chat here.
Absolutely.
They've come out in force to support you.
yeah, absolutely.
So,
I'm so glad.
we appreciate all the support, folks. Thank you
Yeah,
so much
thank
indeed.
you so much
Thank
for
you, everybody.
for this run. Fun fact about this run, I told my former physics teacher, who is also into Nintendo games and that sort of thing, that I was doing this run. So, hello, hello, Mr. Menzies, if you're watching. Thank you for getting me an A in physics. I really appreciate it.
I did not tell my physics teacher that you were doing this wrong.
Yes.
I don't have a physics teacher.
Did you never take
I did-
physics then?
I did not tell my 3D
Yeah.
modeling teacher that you were doing this wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's one of my sort of honorable mentions. Another little honorable mention I would like to have is it's my mum's birthday today. So if anybody can give her some happy birthday wishes, that would be really appreciated.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you
My
for the
mum will
crowd.
appreciate that. So yeah. Just going to use the dry bones here, just try and skip
Yeah.
over this entire section here without using the platform. Fairly self-explanatory.
And beginner runners will normally do something called candle skip, where you jump across the candles, but Xylexsr is too fast for that. So
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I just went through a few honorable mentions here as we're coming towards the end of this run. So hopefully we have about, like, I'd say 10 minutes left, hopefully. We can hopefully get this run under estimate then. So we've got the last of our little bonus levels here. We have another 10-star mystery house here where you use the cat suit to climb all over it. So yeah, we'll just do that, and then we will bring the Tanuki back out and hopefully make it so that we can totally break the next few levels.
As it so happens, this level's called Mystery House Claw Climb. You actually don't need the catsuit to complete it at all. It's technically possible without it.
Yeah, although
but
it
use
is.
it. Use it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
although,
it's very difficult too, and it's not at all worth it.
yeah, although absolutely, like, it is possible to beat this item list, but it takes a lot of practice to do so.
Yeah, even in the itemless speedruns, most runners will only get the first 9 stars.
Yeah, it is very difficult, especially that last star. It's very difficult to try and get it in time.
This star's also quite hard to do transformationless.
Yeah, absolutely. So, transformationless, is that a Galaxy reference?
Yeah.
It's called
Yeah.
itemless in this game, yes.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry for correcting you, but
Ah, you're all good.
No, it's important. We have to. There's a difference.
You're the 3D world runner here.
Yes,
we got to keep it on
absolutely.
topic.
Oop, had a little bit of an input drop there.
Just hit the power box early, just, you know, there's a little bomb on the other side of the
Yeah.
screen.
And this is probably the hardest bit. We can only just barely do this in time.
And here we go.
Very common there. You can lose a run to a snapback on your controller, which can cause you to just dive backwards. I've seen that happen to multiple runners on pace. It's so agonizing.
Yeah.
It has not happened to me yet. I don't think it will ever happen because I don't know when I'm returning to this game.
Yeah, you should.
Maybe this is your chance.
No.
Yeah. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of inspiration, Tackle.
Galaxy 2 is where I am right now.
Yeah. So we are bringing the Tanuki back out for 8-7. You usually use a bunch of grumblumps to get over these gaps, but with the Tanuki, they're just a suggestion.
Yeah, this is another one of the really hard levels in this game.
Oop. Saved it.
That was a great
Very
save.
nice save.
Thanks very much.
That was very quick thinking.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get the sort of boost there. Just going to try, hopefully get enough speed to make this gap here, and I shall let the host interject.
Thank you very much indeed. We've received £10 from Pendle Stephen. Happy birthday for Xylexsr's mum. Happy unbirthday for the rest of us. Just keeping Tim busy. Well, thank you very much indeed. That goes towards the character choice of Banjo. We are creeping closer. Oh, I'll shut up.
That's okay.
Yeah, we're creeping closer. We're only £100 away from hitting £7,000 raised. So please keep those donations coming in. Back over to you.
Great, so we just have one last skip at the end of this level here. We just jump from the top of here, and hopefully we have enough speed to make it over. Oh, just have to do an extra wall jump, and
And that's fine.
there we go. So it's pretty sloppy considering I made that mistake at the start, but oh well.
It's better that you saved it rather than...
Absolutely, yeah. So looks like we just have 2 more boss fights to go and the final level. Looking like we'll probably get this under estimate actually, which is very, very good. And yeah.
Yeah, another thing to mention that we didn't quite remember is that for some strange reason, if you ground pound the Grumblumps, they actually get more grumpy and just move faster.
Yeah.
So this is
Very
proof
funny
that
detail.
anger will actually get you anything you can want in life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, except a good speedrun apparently.
Yes. So we're just going to do a little skip here. So instead of taking the gondola here, we have the Tanuki suit. We can just glide over it here and just save a little bit of time.
And we're back to our favorite boss.
Yeah, and we're back to our lovely boss, Motley Boss Block here.
Oh.
Oh, unfortunately taking a little bit of damage, but that
That's
should be
okay.
fine.
It's
exactly
there's
why I
a
don't like this
Katsu
level.
and has to grab.
Yeah, move over to the host then.
We've received £100 from Mizazaki, who says, hello from the audience. This is my first time attending a speedrun marathon, and it's been an absolutely amazing experience. Thank you to all the runners, hosts, commentators, tech, and everyone else. You are all awesome! Woo! I hope the next time I'm here that I can be one of the runners. Also, shout out to the Broken Respawn guys. With that, we have raised over £7,000! Woo! Thank you so much indeed. Back over to you.
Great.
Awesome.
That is amazing. So well done, everybody. Keep donating if you can. It's amazing that we've reached that £7,000 already. So currently we are coming up to the last boss fight stage. We will be facing Histocrat again. We will need to get another Katsu to make sure that we can cheese Histocrat once again. So there's just one in the corner here. Or do I don't need it.
Yeah, you can actually do Histocrat without the catsuit
Yeah,
with the fast strat, but we do still need the catsuit for the final level.
Yes. So
The good thing is there's Katsus in both the final 2 levels in the game, which is
Yeah.
nice because they are very important. If it was not obvious already, they're very important.
yes.
And they will be very important for the last level as well.
Yep, so doing the Histocrat skip once again, even though it is Mistocrat this time, fortunately for us, this skip still exists, so we can just totally push Histocrat over and move on to the final level. Here we go. So currently just about to go to the flagpole. So crouch boost. Yep,
Just
there we
a
go.
nice little generic movement, you know,
You know,
alley stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I can definitely get this into like low 129. So currently about 3 and a bit minutes to go. We are currently about to enter the final stage where the second hardest trick of the run is. And it is a complete nightmare trying to do this on pace. So this is a little trick called Meowser Skip. You may have heard of it from the Wii U. It's come back for the Switch, and it's even harder. So you have to like steer yourself around a bunch of death planes and that sort of thing. Usually there's a little insert that you put yourself in that most people use to complete Meowser Skip if they do it at all, but there's an even higher point where we can enter the auto-scroller using a pipe that's slightly adjacent to tower, and yeah. Oh, so I need to try and generate some speed here just to make sure we can get over this gap.
Yeah, and
So-
it's another example of just skipping over like
Yeah.
large portions of level.
Absolutely, so like we don't have to worry about any of this whatsoever. So just need to grab a catsuit as we need a catsuit for the skip as well.
And we'll get some quiet time here.
Yeah, sure. Just need to make sure I get the right Tanuki boost and also knock off this Billy to make sure I have enough space. That looks very good. So hopefully we are able to hit this skip. That should be fine. Yes!
Very well done.
Thank you very much. First time
That was very good.
Yeah. That skip saves about 20 seconds over the normal version of Meowser skip. And as you notice, because we've skipped that the auto-scroller trigger, there is no music for the rest of the run. So we kind of just have to live with this. There's a few other auto-scrollers that we have to sit through, but thankfully we can just skip those.
It automatically makes the section a bit easier because you can hear Agile.
That's okay. It's fine. As long as I just stick on this line, it should be fine.
In case.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, obviously the reason we did that Meowser skip is because obviously the auto-scroller's slow, like very slow, so the higher we can enter it, the less time we have to sit in it for.
Absolutely.
Not only that, you also skip the cutscene. I mean, you can skip it anyways, but
Yeah.
yeah, you kept going down there.
So
in the first
just
place.
running up the tower off screen, just have to hit the massive power block, and that is nearly time. So we've got one last little cutscene here, and then we just need to get the final flagpole, and then that would be time. I will just notify tech when to call time, but it's honestly been such a pleasure to also be joined here by my co-commentators and also with the UKSG organizers allowing me to do this showcase of this run. It was an absolute pleasure. So if there's anything else anybody wants to say, you've got about 30 seconds to say it before the end of the run.
Yeah, honestly, I've really enjoyed this. Thank you everyone for hosting the event. Thank you for the whole crowd. Thank you for all the donations. Thanks for just hosting us here. It's been amazing.
Yeah,
It's been an amazing experience.
absolutely. So just coming up to the final flagpole, which is just up here, as I'm pointing to on my right-hand side. So looks like we're just about to call time here. And time!
GG!
Thank you!
1:29:20 is a very good marathon time.
That's a very good marathon time. Thanks very much. So apart from 7.5, that would have probably been a lot better, but no, I'm very happy with that, and especially to get it under estimate as well. So thank you very much to everybody that's running the event. Thank you to my co-commentators, and thanks to all the staff that were able to run this amazing event. And I can't wait to see what else is in store today. So I shall pass it on to the host and tech as well, do whatever they need to do. And thank you so much for watching, the donations, all the staff, my co-commentators. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Let's
you
hear
very
it
much.
Thank
for
you very much,
Xylexsr.
everybody.
Thank you very much. Fantastic run there, Super Mario 3D World. We're going to move swiftly on. We do have some more fantastic stuff coming up. We've got something a bit special coming up next. We have the speedrun.com 10 times random game event. That's coming up just now. That's also, you'll be glad to hear, it from me. I'll be having to get over to the fantastic Dino95 HD. Thank you very much. Please keep donating. We have raised over £7,000 for Crisis. Please keep those donations coming in. Stay with us. We'll be right back.